What's up, people? Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday morning. I hope you are having a good day or morning so far, wherever you are in the world. As always, we've got a massive show for you guys today. Lots and lots of stuff to jump into. We're going to be talking about talks progressing with Amrabat of Fiorentina. I know a lot of you in the chat over the last coming weeks and days have been saying, what's going on with Amrabat? We really want him at the club. We've got some news about Amrabat, so we will jump into that in a little bit. We've also got a couple of stories about Jadon Sancho, another person who is, got a lot of conversation going about him at the moment. We've got a story about Amad Diallo, stories about Onana. We've got a bit of an update about the QATAR situation as well, which I will bring to you later on in the show. And we've got an update on the backup goalkeeper situation, Suzuki, plus loads and loads of other stuff to get into. So do smash a like on the video. Do get involved in the live chat and in the comments section. Let me know how you're feeling about everything. And let's jump straight into it. Right, let's start off with some positivity. I like to start the shows off in a positive way. I don't like to be negative on this channel, so let's be positive. So we had a story come out late last night from Florian Plettenberg. He's called Plettigol on Twitter. Very credible journalist. He reports for Sky Sports in Germany. Now, he is saying Manchester United are monitoring Amrabat very closely. We understand that it could become a hot topic later in the window. At this stage, talks have taken place. He is apparently also on the list for Bayern though, but nothing is concrete at this stage. So as it stands with Amrabat, reported from Sky Sports in Germany that Manchester United have held talks over a deal for Amrabat, and they understand that it could become a hot topic later in this window. So we are in for Amrabat. That's been confirmed. Talks have taken place between Manchester United and Fiorentina, but I think what's going on here, guys, is that we will need to wait until players start leaving the club. I don't think we'll get Amrabat until people like Fred have gone, Donny van de Beek's gone, maybe McTominay's gone. But as soon as those players are gone, I'm confident we're going to move in for him. And I do think that we will get a bid for Amrabat in the coming weeks. We've just got to wait for Fred to go. We've just got to wait for Donny to go. We will talk about both of them in a little bit. But anybody just joining in the last few minutes, Sky Sports in Germany have confirmed that Manchester United are in talks with Fiorentina over a deal for Amrabat, but it will be one that happens a little bit later in the window. Obviously, you know, guys, we have a very limited budget this transfer window, and we need to get players out of the club. So until we see people like Fred leave, until we see people like Donny van de Beek leave, then I do think that we have to kind of take a bit of a step back on this Amrabat deal, because at the moment, the focus is Onana, Rasmus Hojlund. Those are the two priorities at the moment. As soon as those two are through, as soon as we've got Fred out, as soon as we've got Donny van de Beek out, we will go in for Amrabat. The talks are already taking place, though. That's really, really positive. The first talks have taken place between Amrabat and Manchester United and Fiorentina. So it's one to keep an eye on, guys. Do let me know in the live chat how you feel about this bit of news. Are you excited about Amrabat? I would absolutely love to see Amrabat at Manchester United. I think he's a quality player. I think he'll completely change the way we play in those really tough away games. You know, if we go away to the Etihad, if we go away to the Emirates, etc., I think he'll completely change the way we play. I really, really do. So I think he's a massive upgrade on both Donny van de Beek and Fred. So I'm very, very excited about this one. As soon as we get a bid or we get an official bit of news on that, we will of course go live. So do subscribe, hit the notification bell. Welcome to everybody who's just joining in the last few minutes as well. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. I'm feeling positive today, so yeah, we've got a good show for all of you guys today, and let's try and hit our likes target early on in the video. Our likes target is 200 likes. Let's see how quickly we can achieve that this stream. So yeah, as I said, guys, with the Amrabat situation, Manchester United have held talks with Fiorentina over a move. We are just waiting for players to leave the club. As soon as Fred goes, as soon as Donny van de Beek goes, we will, I think, put in an offer. That's what's being reported. But the only danger here is Bayern Munich are interested in him as well. So we've got to act fast. Bayern Munich don't mess around. So yeah, we can't hang around on this one. Somebody in the chat says, what happened to Kobbie Mainoo? So Kobbie Mainoo is still in the United squad. He's been training with the team at the moment. I do think that Kobbie Mainoo will have a breakout season this year. If anybody's unaware who he is, he's an 18-year-old central midfielder. He's come through the youth academy. He looks really, really promising. I do think we'll see him in the game against Leeds tomorrow. Anybody who is up for watching that, we will be doing a watch along tomorrow for the Leeds and Manchester United game. It's at 3:30 p.m. UK time, so we will be doing a watch along for that one, guys. Do get involved in that. Right, let's talk about Onana really quickly, because I know a lot of people in the chat are saying, what's going on with Onana? What's going on? So we did do a video about this yesterday, guys. Multiple journalists in the UK yesterday came out saying that the Onana deal is at the final stages and that Onana has been told that he will move to Manchester United. So all we're waiting for is the official announcement on this one, guys. The deal is as good as done. Multiple journalists in the UK saying that the deal is now at the final stages. Inter Milan have told Onana that he will be moving to Manchester United. The fee is believed to be £43 million plus £4 million in add-ons. I mean, that is an absolute great bit of business. So it'll be 43 million guaranteed plus 4 million in add-ons. Amazing business. Super happy about that. I reckon we might get the here we go from Fabrizio today. So do subscribe and hit the notification bell, because as soon as we get the here we go, we will of course go live and we could all share that moment together. But we did do a video yesterday based off multiple reports in the UK saying that the deal is now at the final stages. Inter Milan have told Onana that he will be moving and the fee will be £43 million guaranteed plus £4 million in add-ons. So we've just got to be patient. I assume it's just paperwork. Who knows? I think Manchester United would have wanted to announce that David De Gea was leaving first. Obviously, that was done over the weekend. Now we can get this deal announced. And the sources of those stories were coming from two different people. It was coming from Ben Jacobs and also Chris Wheeler, as well as somebody else. I can't remember their name, but the exact line was, sources close to Andre Onana say a deal to take the goalkeeper to Manchester United is in its final stages. Inter Milan have told Onana that he will be moving to Manchester United. So effectively, it's done, guys. We've just got to wait for the here we go. We've got to wait for the official announcement. But yeah, I'd say I'm 95% sure that this deal will happen now. Unless something crazy happens, unless maybe a Chelsea come in at the very last minute and offer more money. We know Chelsea were linked to Onana before, weren't they? But I'm not worried about this one at all, guys. I think it's just a matter of when, not if. I think we'll get the here we go later on today from Fabrizio. And as I said, as soon as we get that here we go, you will see the video on the channel. So do keep your eye out for that one. Usually I go live within about 5 minutes of the big stories coming out. So yeah. Somebody's asking about the Amrabat situation. So as I just said, guys, Plettergol, who is a German journalist, reported that Manchester United have held talks with Amrabat. And they're really keen on the player, but he does understand that it could become a hot topic later in the window as Manchester United need to offload some midfielders before they make a bid. He goes on to say Amrabat is also on the list of Bayern, but nothing concrete at this stage. So I don't think we've got anything really to worry about with Bayern Munich. They've got so many good players. They've got Kimmich, they've got Gravenberch, they've got all of these amazing midfielders. So I don't really see why they'd go for Amrabat, to be completely honest with you. But let's keep an eye on that one. I do think it's one that will happen once Fred leaves the club. And we have got some news on Fred for you guys. Do smash a like on the video, guys. Let's try and hit our target for this video really early on. So on Fred, as I said, Amrabat is ultimately waiting on people to leave our club before we can make a bid for him. Those players will be Fred and Donny van der Beek. Now, we've got two stories about both of those players. Fabrizio Romano is reporting that Fred is going to have an offer put in from Fulham. We don't know when exactly, but let's hope this week. But Fred is going to get a bid put in from Fulham, but he's also attracting interest from Saudi Arabia. So both Saudi Arabian clubs and Fulham will be going for Fred, which is great for us because that means we should get at least 20 to 30 million pounds for Fred, I think. Obviously, if a Saudi Arabian club come in, I think they'll pay a bit more than what Fulham will pay. But ultimately, we could get a bit of a bidding war going on here. 20 to 30 million pounds for Fred. You then just go and spend that on Amrabat. Great business. Very, very happy about that. So we will have to keep an eye on that one. As soon as we get the official bid from Fulham, we will, of course, go live with that. We do believe that it's going to be around 20 to 30 million pounds for Fred. But as I said, Fabrizio did report that apparently Saudi Arabian clubs are also interested in Fred, which I do think will we'll probably bump the price up. So yeah, I'm excited about that one. Donny van de Beek has been attracting a lot of interest as well, guys. So there was a story coming out yesterday from Scott Saunders and Graham Bailey, who are two good UK journalists, saying that Donny van de Beek is not required at Manchester United anymore. He's been given the green light to leave this summer. Inter Milan, Roma, AC Milan, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace, Sevilla, Nice, Celtic, Ajax and Feyenoord are all interested in him. So Donny is attracting a lot of interest from clubs around Europe. We've given him the green light to leave the club, and we do expect him to leave, hopefully early on in the transfer window, so we can then get a replacement. I'm thinking Amrabat. I'm maybe even thinking someone like Lavia. I would love to see Lavia at Manchester United. If we could get rid of Fred, McTominay, and Donny van de Beek, and bring in Amrabat and Lavia, that would be incredible. Imagine that, guys, right? You bring in Mount, Lavia, and Amrabat, and then you sell Donny, Fred, and McTominay. That is a massive upgrade in our midfield, because our midfield really, really struggled last season. It did. I know Casemiro did well. I know Bruno did well. But as a whole, I think they did struggle in quite a lot of games. We got overrun. You know, we go away to Liverpool and our midfield was just non-existent. We go away to the Etihad. Our midfield was non-existent. We really, really need to get some more better midfielders in my opinion. I do like Christian Eriksen, but I don't think he's able to play every single game. I think he gets kind of tired too much, doesn't he? He hasn't got the stamina anymore. So I do think he needs to leave the club. Welcome to everybody joining in the last few minutes. I do hope everybody is doing well. I'm feeling positive this morning. I hope you are getting a bit of my positivity today. The only issue with Lavia, guys, is a lot of clubs are interested in him. Arsenal are interested in him. Chelsea are interested in him. So there will be a lot of competition for Lavia. But ultimately, even if we just bring in Amrabat and Mason Mount, I'm happy with that, as long as Fred and Donny leave, because they're just not needed anymore. They're not. They can leave the club. Right, let's move on to the next story. Everybody smash a like on the video. Let's try and hit our target within the next kind of 10 minutes or so. That would be amazing. Right, we've got a story about Jadon Sancho. Now, we spoke about Jadon at length yesterday. A lot of people were giving their opinions, were saying Jadon needs to leave, he's not good enough, he's on too much money, etc, etc. There was a lot of mixed opinions around Jadon Sancho. Now, there's a story coming out from a UK journalist saying the following. Erik ten Hag's current intention is to give Jadon Sancho one more season at Manchester United to impress. If a huge offer comes in, then they might let him leave, but given his wages, that is very unlikely. So as it stands at the moment, guys, this report that came out yesterday says that Erik ten Hag would like to give Jadon Sancho one more year at the club to try and ultimately become the player that they think he is. But if a big offer comes in, say a Tottenham come knock in and offer 50, 60 million pounds, then they would look to sell him. I think that's the right decision, and I think that's the right kind of story to put out there. I do think there's a good player in Jadon Sancho. He is still very young. He's only 23 years of age. He could go on to be a very good player. But ultimately, if somebody comes in with a massive bid for him, then I think we'd be stupid to turn that down personally. But do let me know in the live chat. Do let me know in the comment section what you would do with Jadon Sancho. Would you sell him? Would you keep him one more season? Let me know. Right, let's move on to the next story. Let's see who is in the chat this morning. Quite a few people saying get Sancho out. Yeah, I mean, Sancho does bring mixed opinions. He really, really does. What else have we got? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want Sancho out. I do get it, guys. I do. But I just want you to remember, he is only 23. He's still very, very young, right? He's nowhere near his prime years. His prime years are probably 26 to 30, and he's 23. So I think he could go on to be a really good player. But I do agree he hasn't had a great time at Manchester United so far. He's been very, very average. So yeah, there's another story just coming out in the last few minutes as well, which I wanted to bring to you guys about Onana. I know everybody's asking, when's Onana happening? What's going on with Onana? So we have a story coming out saying that Erik ten Hag has asked that the Onana deal is signed by Friday. It's a matter of time. So we do expect that Onana will be a Manchester United player by this Friday. He will go on that pre-season tour to the United States of America. I don't know exactly what's holding up the deal. I assume it's just paperwork and stuff like that. I hope we get the here we go from Fabrizio Romano today, because then at least we can all just take a deep breath. We know that he'll come and we can stop worrying that potentially something's going to go wrong. But I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not worried about the Onana deal whatsoever. Right, we've got a good question here. Let's read this one out. So Red Devils United says, Kieran, what do you think about Sabitzer? He was decent for us before getting injured. He's available for 10 million. I'll ask everybody that in the chat. So what does everybody think about Sabitzer? Would you sign him permanently for Manchester United? Me personally, I wouldn't bother with Sabitzer. I don't think he was that good. He was okay. If it was up to me, I'd just go and get Amrabat. I think he's a better player. He's more what we need. We've got Mason Mount now. We've got Bruno. I don't think we need Sabitzer. I think he's pretty average. He was injured most of the season. I don't think he's a massive upgrade on Fred, to be completely honest with you. Like, does anybody think he's a massive upgrade on Fred? I'm not convinced. But let me know in the live chat. Let me know in the comment section. Would you go back in for Sabitzer? Somebody's asked that in the chat. Yeah, as Malp says here, the club just sucks the excitement out of new transfers. I mean, you see Liverpool, right? You get a here we go from Fabrizio for Liverpool with McAllister. Within 24 to 48 hours, he's in the shirt, isn't he? Manchester United, we've been linked to Onana for what, like 2-3 weeks? And we still haven't got it over the line. I mean, it is a disgrace. It really, really is. But I'm trying to stay positive, guys. I don't want to spread negativity. I don't really see the point, to be completely honest with you. I think it's good to try and stay positive because we do have to cherish those moments as Manchester United fans because they don't come, they don't come very often anymore. So I'm trying to be positive. So Amnat says, Kieran, I'd keep Sancho for one more season. He'll be effective and performs a good season for us next year. Eric Ten Hag isn't a fool as he backs Sancho. Yeah, I've said this to you before, guys. I think personally for me, I would either keep Sancho at the club for one more year or I'd loan him out. I don't think selling him unless you get a massive offer really makes sense. And I can't see anybody. I honestly think Sancho's unsellable. I do. He's on £350,000 a week. That is absolutely mental, right? Sancho's probably on the same amount of money as like Kevin De Bruyne. Like, who the hell has given out those wages? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so Sancho's on £350,000 per week at Manchester United, okay? And then if you compare that with, like, say, Manchester City, Jack Grealish is on 300, Erling Haaland's on 375, and Kevin De Bruyne's on 400. So Kevin De Bruyne and Sancho are pretty much on the same amount of money, which is absolutely nuts. It really, really is. Right, let's see how we're doing. We're less than 100 likes away from our target for the video, guys. So if everybody likes the video now, we will hit that. And do subscribe and hit the notification bell. It doesn't cost any money. Everyone is welcome on the channel. We go live at 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. UK time every single day. So yeah, welcome to the community, to all the new people joining. Right, we will be talking about the takeover situation in a minute because there is another story coming out surrounding Qatar. It is quite positive. Yeah, we'll talk about it in a little bit. Let's talk about the backup goalkeeper situation really, really quickly. So we are expected to put in a bid for this Jadon Sancho guy in the coming days. That's what's just come out. We have been talking to him for a little while. He's a 20-year-old goalkeeper. He would be a backup to Onana. And Manchester United are expected to put in a bid in the next few days of around £5 million for Jadon Sancho. He's got a very similar profile to Onana. He's good at distribution. He's good with his feet. He's only 20 years of age, so he would very much be a backup goalkeeper. He's not going to be someone to challenge Onana. He might play in the League Cup, he might play in the FA Cup, maybe he'll play in the Champions League if we've already qualified, etc. He will be a backup to Onana. And in the goalkeeper situation, Dean Henderson will move to Nottingham Forest. At the moment, Dean Henderson's injured, so obviously you can't do a medical if you're injured because you'll fail it. He is believed to be back to full fitness at the end of this month, and we do expect Dean Henderson to leave the club and move to Nottingham Forest at the beginning of August. Also, Tom Heaton, who is currently the only goalkeeper we have at Manchester United who's fit, he looks like he's going to get a move to Everton. So a lot of goalkeepers will leave the club this summer, and we will be bringing in Onana, and we will be bringing in this Jadon Sancho guy, who I don't know much about, but what I have seen, he does look quite good. Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, everybody in the chat saying, who's going to give Jadon Sancho 350 grand a week? Nobody. Nobody's going to give Jadon Sancho 350k a week. I think he'd be lucky to get 150 at another club, to be completely honest with you. Like, I think Jadon Sancho is worth 150 grand a week, and we're paying him almost triple that. It is ridiculous. It really, really is. I mean, I'm just having a look here, right? Bernardo Silva at Manchester City is on 150 grand a week. Bernardo Silva. And we're paying Sancho 350 grand a week. I mean, Ed Woodward and Ollie made so many mistakes. Harry Maguire, Jadon Sancho, all of these people who they overplayed, paying them ridiculous wages. Yeah, it is disgusting, but I'm trying to stay positive. As somebody says in the chat, Suzuki could go on to be the future #1 goalkeeper. He's only 20 years of age. He can learn from Onana. They're very, very similar profiles. So yeah, I think that will be the case. Somebody's asking about who will be the goalkeeper tomorrow. I expect it will be Tom Heaton. So Tom Heaton will most likely play in goal for Manchester United tomorrow in the pre-season friendly against Leeds United. We will be doing a watch along for that. I believe the game is at 3:30 UK time. So if you do want to watch that with us, we will be doing a watch along. It'll be the first time we see Mason Mount. I assume Lisandro Martinez will be playing. Obviously, he's back from injury. So, yeah, it will be a good one. It's the first game of the season. Manchester United are playing football again. Happy days. I know it's just a friendly, but still. Yeah, there's a couple more stories coming out this morning about Amrabat, guys. I'm bringing this one to you live right now. So, Alex Crook, who is a TalkSport presenter, is saying the following. Amrabat is on Manchester United's radar. Not a top target at the moment as they look to tie up Onana and number 9. The purchase of Amrabat is dependent on departures. So that's exactly what we said earlier on in the show. Manchester United are heavily interested in Amrabat, but he's not a top target because at the end of the day, guys, we need to bring in Onana and we need to bring in Rasmus. As soon as those two deals are done, as soon as we see Fred leave, as soon as we see Donny van de Beek leave, we will go in for him. So yeah, it is a positive. I really, really am excited about Amrabat. I think he is the person we need to go and get. And I just hope we can do that deal before another club are interested in him. Right, let's see what else we've got on this morning's show. Lots and lots to get into today, guys. Lots and lots of positivity. We are hoping we'll get the here we go for Onana today. That would be very, very good. Yeah, there's multiple people this morning reporting that Jadon Sancho will get one more year at Manchester United. Ten Hag wants to give him another chance to impress. I do think it's the right decision. I do think that Eric Ten Hag can make Sancho come good. I do. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that one. We will, guys. If we get any more news on the Jadon Sancho situation, we will, of course, bring it to you. But as it stands, Manchester United's view on it is that they will keep him for one more year. Eric Ten Hag wants to see what he can do with the player. But if a big bid comes in, if Tottenham come with a 50, 60 million pound bid, then they probably would, look to sell him. There's a little bit more on the Harry Maguire situation. Obviously, we brought this to you yesterday, guys, that Harry Maguire has apparently got a price tag of £50 million. Okay? Absolutely crazy. Stupid money. Nobody's going to pay £50 million for Harry Maguire. But we have had some clarity come out on this situation. And it is exactly as I predicted. I said to you yesterday, guys, I said, at the end of the day, this is the starting point for the bidding. Right? There is no way that Manchester United think they're actually going to get 50 million for Harry Maguire. What they actually have said is that this is the starting point. They're saying 50 million. But they obviously would listen to offers of less. That's what's come out since that. Because as soon as that 50 million price tag came out, everybody said, what the hell? 50 million for Maguire? That's ridiculous. Nobody's going to pay that. Blah, blah, blah. But the clarity has been given. That is just the beginning of the negotiations, right? So they'll say 50 million. Someone will come in and say, we'll give you 20, and then they'll sell him for 30. That's kind of how this transfer will work. I do hope that Maguire gets his move. I really, really, really do want him to go to another club and succeed. I wish him all the best. I just don't think that... I think his times in a Manchester United shirt are done. I really, really do. Yeah, people in the chat saying 50 million. Manchester United put this out publicly yesterday, guys, via Samuel Luckhurst. Manchester United want £50 million for Maguire. But since then, they have clarified the situation and they have said that this is just a starting point of negotiations and that they do understand that, they will probably get bids for less and they'll have to meet somewhere in the middle. At the end of the day, guys, Harry Maguire is also on absolutely ridiculous wages. He's on £200,000 per week. That's going to be an issue for most clubs. West Ham, who he's heavily linked with, their highest earning player is Lucas Paqueta and he is on 150. I mean, there is no way that West Ham are going to pay Harry Maguire 200 grand a week. No way. Not a hope in hell. Literally. Never going to happen. Their highest earning player, Lucas Paqueta, who is a good player, maybe not world class, he's on 150. It's not going to happen. So there's going to have to be some serious middle ground between the two clubs. We'll probably have to pay off some of Harry Maguire's contract. It is a very complicated deal to do, but I just hope that we can get this one done because I do not want to see Harry Maguire sat on the bench anymore. I do not want to hear him doing interviews. Yeah, I want him gone. Do get your live chats in, guys. I will read some out in the second half of the show. And if you want to do a super chat or if you want to do gifting memberships and all that stuff, you can hit the $sign. Any money that we get from the channel goes back into the channel. So yeah, if you are in a position to do any of that stuff, then just hit the $sign. Any contributions are, of course, appreciated. And if you aren't a subscriber, please do subscribe. Please do hit the notification bell. We go live every single day. It doesn't cost any money. Yeah, get involved in the community. We've got a really, really nice community here. It's growing really, really quickly, and I love speaking to you all. So do subscribe if you're new, and do hit the notification bell. What does everybody think about this? So obviously, as you all know, Bayern Munich have now put in 2 bids for Harry Kane. I just have this funny feeling that Harry Kane to Manchester United is going to happen. This is just my opinion, but I can just see him in a Manchester United shirt at the end of this transfer window. I can see us doing something crazy at the end, because what you've got to remember here, guys, Onana, Rasmus Hojlund and Mason Mount are all players we can sign without selling anybody, right? We can buy those 3 players based on what our budget is for the season. If people like McTominay, Fred, Donny van de Beek, Alex Telles, Brandon Williams, Dean Henderson, if all of these players leave, we can easily raise 150 million in player sales, if not more, right? So this is how you've got to look at this situation at the moment, guys. We're ultimately getting Rasmus, Mount and Onana with what our current budget is, not based on player sales. But I'm confident that we can easily raise around 100 to 150 million, if not more. Why would we not go in for Harry Kane then? I just think it might happen. This is just a hunch that I have. I can just see Harry Kane in a Manchester United shirt. I really, really can. Somebody is saying, what do you think about Xavi Simons? I mean, Xavi Simons, he looks like an unbelievable player. I would absolutely love to see Xavi Simons at Manchester United. If anybody is unaware who he is, obviously he plays for PSV in the Dutch league. He was from PSG, Paris originally. And then I think he went there for a really small fee, and they have some sort of buyback thing. But he had an absolutely incredible season last year. There are quite a few clubs in for him. I do believe that PSG have a buyback clause in his contract or something. But yeah, I mean, if we could get Xavi Simons, that would be an incredible bit of business, because the thing you have to remember with Xavi Simons is he can play in any of the front positions. He can play as a striker, a cam, on the wings. And that's exactly what we need. And it's exactly what reporters have been saying Manchester United are looking for. For anybody who missed the show the other day, there were stories coming out from the UK saying that Manchester United want 2 strikers this summer. 2. Yes, 2 strikers. They want one number 9. That would be Rasmus Hojlund. And they also want another striker who can play across any of the front 3 positions. So left wing, right wing striker. Xavi Simons ticks all of those boxes. I would 100% go all out for Xavi Simons if we could get him. I really, really would. But it's one to keep an eye on. We haven't been linked to him at the moment, but somebody has just asked me about it in the chat, so I did think I'd bring him into the show. Do let me know in the live chat. Do let me know in the comments section if you're watching this back on repeat. What do you think about Xavi Simons? Would you like to see him at Manchester United? Do you think it's somebody that Erik ten Hag could go for? He had an incredible season last year in the Eredivisie. Absolutely smashed it. He got 19 goals and 9 assists in 34 matches. 28 goals and assists in 34 matches. That is an incredible stats for a 20-year-old. So, yeah, if we could bring him in, 100% I'd bring him to the club. I really, really would. You know that Ten Hag likes the Dutch players and the Eredivisie players. I am surprised that we haven't been linked to him, to be honest with you. But anyway, this is just pure hypothetical. I don't think he'll come to Manchester United. I think that PSG will probably bring him back. We've got 450 people watching this morning, guys. Absolutely incredible. Everybody, please smash a like on the video. It really helps get more people into the community and into the chat. Right, we've got a question here. Amrabat says, Kieran, what do you think we should utilise Sancho, Maguire for Kane? I believe we can bring Kane. Yeah, so we did bring you that story yesterday. There was a couple of reporters in the UK saying that Manchester United are still really interested in Harry Kane. Tottenham want Sancho. And they were kind of suggesting that maybe a swap deal for Sancho for Kane could be on the cards. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think swap deals are usually quite complicated to do. At the end of the day, Sancho's wages are going to be the issue. They really, really are. They really are going to be the issue for any club, whether it's a swap deal, whether it's a loan. Harry Kane's only on 200 grand a week at Tottenham, right? So even if you swapped Jadon Sancho plus 50 million for Harry Kane, like, that's still not great for Tottenham, because they're going to have to pay Jadon Sancho double what Harry Kane was being paid, if that made sense. But I haven't given up hope on Harry Kane. I do think that Manchester United can do that deal. But as I said, I think we rely on players to be sold. I mean, guys, imagine if QATAR come in. If we get these new owners, I would not be surprised if they go all out for a marquee signing, because at the moment, the people we've signed, we've done some incredible business. Or the people we are going to sign. Mason Mount is a good signing. Onana is an amazing signing. Rasmus Hojlund is a good signing. But there isn't any marquee names in there. And I do think that if we get new owners, I think they will want to make one marquee signing this summer towards the end of the transfer window. And ultimately, as I said, we can easily raise about £150 million in player sales this summer. Easy. Dean Henderson, McTominay, Fred, Donny, Elanga, Eric Bailly, Tellez, Brandon Williams. That's about 8 players there that we should be able to sell this summer. So let's stay positive. Let me know in the live chat and in the comment section whether you would like to see Harry Kane in a Manchester United shirt and why. Right, so we're going to talk about Hojlund now. Somebody in the chat is asking about Rasmus Hojlund. I am going to now talk about Rasmus Hojlund. We did have a story coming out yesterday about Rasmus that I wanted to bring to you really, really quickly. So let me just give you a bit of a recap on the Rasmus Hojlund situation. Fabrizio Romano confirmed a couple of days ago that Manchester United agreed personal terms with Rasmus Hojlund back in May. So personal terms with Rasmus Hojlund have been agreed for 2 months. Rasmus wants the move. Obviously, he's a boyhood Manchester United fan. His dream is to play for Manchester United. He really, really wants the move. And another report even goes to say that Rasmus Hojlund would be willing to hand in a transfer request if the 2 clubs can't agree a fee. Now, we can confirm that the clubs are currently talking about the structure of the deal. This was reported a couple of days ago that the structure of the deal is being negotiated at the moment. We believe the fee to be around £50 million, and there is also talk that either Amad Diallo or Mason Greenwood will go on loan to Atalanta as part of the deal. Not a permanent deal, on loan. I honestly think with Rasmus, it's a case of when, not if. I think this deal will happen. He's just got a new agent. You're probably thinking, Kieran, why are you telling me about the agent? I don't care. But the agent is the same agency as Erik ten Hag. He's just moved to this agency. Everybody is in agreement. Obviously, Ten Hag wants him. Rasmus wants the move. Atalanta are always willing sellers. They're not like a Benfica or a Porto who say we want 100 million. We're gonna put a release clause on him. If you pay the release clause, we'll sell him. Atalanta are a selling club. They are. All respect to Atalanta, but they are a selling club. So I do think that this deal will happen, guys. I do. I think it's, as I said, it's a matter of when, not if. And the report that came out yesterday was saying that, let me have a quick look for you. Let me just get this one back up. Obviously, so yeah, the story came out yesterday from reporters in Italy. A guy named Niccolò Schira. He has 300,000 followers on Twitter. He is an Italian journalist. He says the following: Manchester United are preparing a new bid to sign Rasmus Hojlund. His new agency, who is Ten Hag's agent, has already reached an agreement in principle with Manchester United for a contract until 2028. So Rasmus and Manchester United have agreed a contract. The bid is believed to be €60 million, which is, I believe it's about £51 million. Let me just double check. Yeah, £51 million. That's what the bid's going to be. We are waiting for that to go in officially. As soon as we get that officially, we will go live with it, of course. So do subscribe, do hit the notification bell. But as per reports, a bid looks like it's going to go in for Rasmus Hojlund, €60 million, and Amad Diallo or Mason Greenwood will be part of that deal on loan, going to Atalanta for a season. I mean, honestly, guys, all of that sounds great to me. I would probably rather send Mason Greenwood, to be completely honest with you. I don't think we should send Amad Diallo. I think Mason Greenwood should go. What about this, guys? How do you feel about this? How would you feel about sending both Mason Greenwood and Amad Diallo on loan? If they both were going to be played every single game, would you be happy about that? I think that would be quite good. I do. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that one, guys. I do think Rasmus will come to Manchester United. He's Erik ten Hag's #1 target. As I've said to you guys multiple times before, it's a matter of when, not if, for Rasmus Hojlund, I think. Unless another club come in at the last minute. There was reports that Chelsea were interested as well, but I don't think so. I think that was maybe just a story to try and bump up his price. I can't see Chelsea going for him. Chelsea have just signed this other striker, haven't they? From Villarreal, I think. I can't remember what the guy's name is. They've obviously got Nkunku. They've still got Lukaku. They've got that Broha guy. Chelsea have got about 4 strikers. I mean, why would they get Rasmus Hojlund? They've got plenty of strikers. So I think we've got an open race to Rasmus Hojlund. I'm really feeling positive about that one. I really, really want to see him at the club. So yeah, let's keep an eye on that one. As soon as we get the official bid, we will of course go live. But as I said, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that personal terms were agreed in May. So that's fine. And other reports have said that he would be willing to hand in a transfer request if the 2 clubs can't agree a deal. So that's very, very positive. Somebody in the chat. Right, let's see where we are. We are going to talk about the Qatar situation in a minute, guys, as well, because there is some new news around that. So do smash a like on the video. We will talk about that in about 10 minutes or so. And everybody who's new to the channel, please do subscribe. Please do hit the notification bell. We're live at 8 a.m. UK time and 6 p.m. UK time. And if there's ever any breaking news throughout the day, we do go live. So do get involved in the community. We've got a really, really great community here, guys. Every one of you is welcome. We will be doing watch-alongs for all the matches this season. We'll be doing the watch-along for the Leeds game tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. UK time. Honestly, guys, I can't wait to do the watch-alongs with you because it does just mean we can have a bit more conversation. You know, it will give us a bit more time together to just talk about other stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited about those watch-alongs. We will be live tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. for that. Right, somebody in the chat is saying, why have we not offered for Evan Ferguson? He is much better than Hojlund. The problem with Evan Ferguson is he's just signed a new contract at Brighton. He just signed a brand new contract. I think he would cost way more than Rasmus Hojlund. I think that Brighton would want 60, 70 million for Evan Ferguson. And I honestly think that we'll see Evan Ferguson from Brighton in a Manchester United shirt in the next 5 years. He's still very young. He's only 18, I believe. We've got to be patient. I think him staying at Brighton for a few more years is the best thing for his development. As I said, he's only 18 years of age. Rasmus Hojlund's a little bit older. He's 20. So I think Rasmus is ready for the move. Whereas I don't think that I don't think it's essential that we bring in Evan Ferguson now, to be completely honest with you. I'm happy with him staying at Brighton for a few more years, developing as a player, and then we can, you know, bring him in a couple of years' time. Big ups to everybody who's being supportive in the chat. Lots of people saying they're enjoying the show this morning. Again, massive shouts to everybody who is supporting the community. If you do want to join the members club, you can just hit the $sign. We've got loads of people in the members club already, which is honestly, I'm so blown away by it. But if you want to join the members club, or if you want to gift any memberships, you can just hit the $sign. Any support is obviously appreciated. Let's have a read of a few chats. Do get your live chats in, guys. I will read as many as I can, and we will talk about this new bit of news about Qatar in a minute. Let's have a look. Right, anyway, let's move on to the next story. Do get your live chats in and do smash a like on the video, and I will circle back in a little bit. Right. Now, we are expecting this week Erik ten Hag to sit down with Harry Maguire and to have that conversation. And I just pray that the conversation goes as, Harry, you're not going to play. I think you should leave. That's what needs to happen. Erik ten Hag has been so ruthless since he's been to this club. He benched Ronaldo. He got rid of De Gea. He benched Maguire. Like, he has been ruthless. I haven't got a bad thing to say about Erik ten Hag and how he's dealt with the players. He's completely got rid of that attitude that Ollie had, where everybody was smiling. He didn't want to upset anybody. Honestly, I hated that, you know? These players at Manchester United are here to work. They're here to die for the badge. If anybody is not in Ten Hag's plans, he needs to get rid of them. And he's done that so far. So I just hope that when Harry Maguire and Erik ten Hag sit down this week and have their conversation, he says, Harry, you're not going to be the captain anymore. It's going to Bruno. You're going to be on the bench. You're our fifth choice centre-back. I think you should move on. And I hope that that then happens, because if Harry has any pride and any dignity, he will leave the club this summer. So let's just hope that that happens, guys. Again, I don't want any hate towards the guy. He isn't a bad player. He just doesn't suit our he just doesn't suit our system. So Harry Maguire needs to leave the club. He isn't a Manchester United captain, and he isn't a player that will work in Ten Hag's system. It's as black and white as that. I don't have any personal vendettas against the guy. I've never met him. You know, even if he's training 3 times a day, which he reportedly is, I don't care. He needs to leave the club. I wanted to bring this into the show really, really quickly. We did do a whole show about it yesterday, but I wanted to bring it up because I know there's probably different people in the chat today. So there was a story coming out from Bild in Germany yesterday saying that PSG are looking to sign Marcus Rashford as they brace themselves for the departure of Kylian Mbappe. Now, how does everybody feel about that? It's been about 24 hours since that story came out, and I've had a bit of time to reflect on it. I do still really think that with Rashford, I think it is just a tactic to try and bump up his wages. He hasn't signed this new contract yet. I don't know what's going on with the new contract, to be completely honest with you. We were hearing weeks and weeks ago that it was done, but nothing has been announced. So I do think it is a bit weird that just as he's about to sign a new contract, you know, we hear that PSG are supposedly interested in him. I do think it's a bit strange. How does everybody feel about this one? We had some really, really mixed opinions on the evening show last night. Do let me know in the live chat. Do let me know in the comments section. How would you feel about PSG going for Rashford? The story came out from Bild. They've got 2 million followers on Twitter. Again, I'd say they're relatively reliable, but who knows where that story has come from, you know? It could have been Marcus Rashford's agent who gave them that story saying, oh, PSG have inquired about Rashford. You know, we don't know exactly where the source of the information is, because at the end of the day, these journalists, they never give out. They never say, this person has told me this, because that would be, you know, giving away their sources, and that's not how journalism works. They get a story. If they think it's credible, they'll publish it. So we don't know exactly where the original origin of this Marcus Rashford to PSG story has come from. Obviously, it was Bild in Germany who reported it, who are a massive platform. But yeah, let me know in the live chat what you think about this, guys. Would you be happy to let Rashford go? And how much do you think that Manchester United would want for Rashford? As I said, I honestly do think it's just a tactic from Rashford's camp to try and get him more money. I don't think Rashford will leave the club this summer. And yeah, I just don't. I think Rashford is a really good player. I do. I do think he does struggle in some games, and I don't think he is much of a team player, but I do think he is a good player. So I personally wouldn't sell Rashford unless they were going to offer us absolutely disgusting money, like 150 million, then maybe. But as I said, guys, I think we can say this story is rubbish. I honestly just think it's a tactic for him to get more money. I do. We've got 550 people in the chat this morning, guys. Absolutely massive shout outs to all of you. We've absolutely smashed our like target already. If you haven't liked already, do like the video. We've smashed our target and we've still got half the show left, guys. So massive shouts to everybody. I do love doing the morning shows with you guys. It is 8 a.m. in the UK, guys. So I literally wake up and then I go straight into talking to you. So yeah, I do love speaking to you and starting my day with having a great chat with this community. So massive shout outs to all of you. Yeah, great achievement to hit our like target halfway through the video. So good. And anybody who is new, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs no money. Right, we've got a few super chats coming in, guys. If anybody wants to do a super chat, you just hit the $sign. So Red Devil United says, Kieran, who do you think will make the step up from the reserves this season? And what is your opinion on Sabitzer? He's available for just 10 million. Great question. Thank you, Red Devils United, for the super chat. So we'll start off with the first bit. And I will also echo that question to everybody else in the chat. So everybody in the chat, I'm asking you this. Kieran, obviously you're not Kieran. So community, who do you think will make the step up from the reserves this season? Let me know in the live chat. And also, everybody in the live chat, what is your opinion on Sabitzer? Would you sign him? He's available for 10 million. I'll answer the questions whilst you get your answers in as well. So, from the reserves, that was the question. I mean, obviously Kobe Mainoo's come through the reserves, hasn't he? I think Kobe Mainoo deserves a chance. I really like a guy called Will Fish. He's at a centre back. I think he'd be good. I quite like Charlie Savage. Obviously, Robbie Savage's son. He got a bit of a chance, didn't he, last season? I don't know if he's good enough to make it. And there's somebody else who I think really deserves a chance, okay? Charlie McNeil. Honestly, guys, if you don't know who this player is, go and have a look at some compilations on YouTube about him after this. Honestly, guys, he looks like a really good player. He's a centre forward. I'm just checking. He's 19 years of age. He's one that I'm really excited about, guys. A lot of people who go to the under-21s games and the reserves games say he's a quality player. I think he was on loan last season somewhere, wasn't he? Let me just double check that for you. I think he went out on loan last season. But yeah, I'd say Charlie McNeil. And also I like, there's somebody else I like, but I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, I'd say Charlie McNeil, Robbie Savage maybe, and also the defender, Will Fish, I believe his name is. I'd say those three players. But do let me know in the live chat who you would like to see come through the youth team into the first team. There's Joe Hugel as well. He looks quite good. But yeah, those would be mine. Let's have a look. We've got, and the other second part of the question, guys, was this. He says, what's your opinion on Sabitzer? He's available for 10 million. I think Sabitzer's an okay player. He kind of falls into the same category as like a Fred or a Donny van de Beek to me. I think he's all right. I think he's a squad player. I don't think he's really that good, to be completely honest with you. I personally wouldn't bother with Sabitzer, to be completely honest with you. If he's available for 10 million, I still wouldn't bother with him. I'd go and get Amrabat, and then if we need another midfielder, then maybe get someone on loan. Maybe try and look at the free agent market. I don't know. I wouldn't bother with Sabitzer, personally. But what does everybody else think in the chat? Would you bother with Sabitzer? We've got another super chat coming in here, guys. We've had loads of super chats today, so massive shouts to everybody. This is coming from Marama Voice, and they say, keep Rashford. And then they also say, I'm in California, USA, loving your show. Massive shouts, guys. Honestly, massive shouts to all the people in this community. I really do appreciate you, and I love having conversation with you every single morning. Takeover news, we will talk about in a little bit, in a minute. Somebody saying McNeil's on loan at Newport. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I know he did. I know he did go on loan, but I'm not too sure where he did go. But yeah, Charlie McNeil does look like a good player. I don't think his loan move went that well last season. I think he got injured. Let me just check. Yeah, so he went on loan to Newport. He's back at Manchester United now. He didn't do that well for Newport, to be honest with you guys. He got 2 goals in 20 matches, which isn't great, but I think he did get injured. So, yeah. Right, let's have a look at what else we've got to talk about, guys. Give me one moment. All right, somebody says we need 3 midfielders as Fred and Donny and McTominay will be sold. Yeah, so my 3 midfielders would be Mason Mount, Amrabat, and I'd also go for Lavia. If we can't get Lavia, then I'd probably go for a cheaper option. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head who I'd go for at this point. But I don't think I'd go with Sabitzer, to be completely honest with you guys. I don't think he's that good. I think he's a squad player at best. I don't think he's a massive improvement on Fred or McTominay or Donny van der Beek. So no, I wouldn't go with Sabitzer. I'd go with Amrabat 100% any day of the week. Anybody joining late today, there is a story coming out today from Plettigol, Sky Sports journalist in Germany, saying that Manchester United are in talks with Fiorentina, but his understanding is that Manchester United will not make a concrete bid until players leave the club. So until Fred leaves, until Donny leaves, there won't be a concrete bid put in. So we've just got to be patient with that one, guys. I do think that we will get him, but I think it might just take a few months. I don't think it will, a few months, a few weeks. I don't think it will be an immediate one. Somebody, right, this is a pretty damning comment. So somebody says, sell Eriksen, useless, no legs, no ambition. I mean, what does everybody think about that? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think Eriksen is a good player. He hasn't got the stamina anymore. His legs definitely are going, but I would personally keep Eriksen. I think he is a good player. I think Eriksen is the kind of player where you're playing like a relegation team at home, you can play him, Casemiro. I guess actually thinking about it, like Mason Mount's going to take Eriksen's place, isn't he? Realistically, Eriksen's going to be on the bench for most of next season. Realistically, I think. I don't see Eriksen getting in the squad above Mason Mount. Somebody, all right, so we've got different comments in the chat as we always do. So somebody says, I wouldn't sell Rashford. I would put a 1 billion release clause on him. Yeah, I mean, you could do. I don't think anybody's going to pay it, but yeah, you're welcome to do that. Somebody else says, Kieran, apart from Rasmus, what do you think? Who is the second striker target? That's a great question. As I said on a show a couple of days ago, reports out of the UK were saying that Manchester United want 2 strikers this summer. One out-and-out number 9, Rasmus Hojlund, and then also another striker who can play in any of the front 3 positions. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. Say we sign Rasmus Hojlund, who do you want to be the second striker? Take in mind, they need to be able to play on the wings as well. I genuinely would go with Xavi Simons, I reckon. I think he's a quality player. I would really like to see Xavi Simons at Manchester United. He's a really, really exciting player, but I don't know whether that's very realistic, to be completely honest with you. We'll have to keep an eye on it. It was Amnat who asked that question. Thanks for that question. Do let me know in the live chat and in the comments section, guys. Who would you like to be the second striker? I would quite like to see Harry Kane at Manchester United, but I'm not sure whether... Can Rasmus Hojlund play on the wing? Let me know in the live chat, guys. I'm not sure whether Rasmus can play on the wing or not. Yeah, Mwani, that's a great option as well. Kudos. Yeah, lots and lots of great options coming in the live chat, guys. Do keep getting your comments in. Let's have a look. And everybody who's new as well, please do subscribe and hit the like button. Let's see how many we can get to. Our target was 200 for this video, and we've absolutely smashed that. So big ups to everybody. We've got about 15 minutes left of the show, guys, as well. So do get involved if you haven't. If you haven't said anything in the live chat before, do get involved in the community. We've got a really, really nice community going on here. And if you want to do super chats or if you want to join the members club, you can just hit the $sign. Any support is obviously massively appreciated. Right, let's move on to the next story. We will talk about the takeover right at the end of the show. I try and keep it to the end because otherwise I just feel like the whole show we just talk about the takeover, and I appreciate that for some people, me included, it does just get a bit boring, but I do know that people do, watch channels like this to try and get a bit of an understanding of what's going on. So we will talk about it in a minute. But yeah, I try to save it to the end just because I think that's the best way of doing it. And then if people aren't interested, then obviously you can just turn off. If you're sick of hearing about the takeover, then at least it's right at the end. If you want to turn off and go and do something else, then that's up to you, Yeah, I mean, we've got 10 minutes left of the show, guys. So yeah, we can talk about it now. Right. So we had a story coming out yesterday. I think this is a positive because there was a lot of people in the chat yesterday and over the last few days, me included, who were really worried about whether Qatar would pull out. There was a story going around about a month ago saying that Qatar were close to pulling out before they put in their 5th bid. Now, we have had some clarity on that situation. It's coming in from, what's his name? Simon Stone, who is the... He writes for the BBC in the UK. So Simon Stone was speaking to, I believe it was with the United Stand yesterday. So big ups to the United Stand for this one. And ultimately, Simon Stone has said that, let me just get the exact quote for you. Simon Stone has said the following. He heard a rumour that Qatar were thinking of pulling out, okay? This is coming from Simon Stone, who's a BBC sport journalist. Like, this guy does not put out stuff. He doesn't put out lies, put it that way. The BBC put out very safe stuff all of the time. So anyway, Simon Stone from the BBC Sport said the following. This is a direct quote. He said, I was told a rumour the other day that Sheikh Jassim was thinking about pulling out. I have checked that and that has been dismissed. So I think this is a positive. Qatar are here to stay. They're going to battle until the end to get Manchester United. There was a lot of people worried that, are they going to pull out? You know, is it taking too long? I thought that they might pull out, to be completely honest with you. And I even put this in the chat yesterday. I said, guys, do you maybe think that the Glazers are dragging this out so that Qatar pull out and then they can just say, they can go back to everybody and say, we didn't get the bid we wanted, so we've cancelled the sale. But this story coming out today, or last night even, saying that they're not going to pull out and they're ultimately they're here to stay. They want the club and they would do everything they can to get Manchester United. I mean, that is a massive positive. The headline is, Qatar are here to stay. Okay, guys? They're going to keep battling until they get this club. Yeah. I do hope that we get some news about it this week. I really do, because it feels like it's gone so quiet. But I just want to bring this to you guys now, okay? This is just my opinion, so don't go and, say that this is a fact. This is just my opinion, and I do think it's important to clarify this is an opinion before I say it. I maybe think that the fact it's gone quiet is actually a positive, because what you've got to remember here, guys, is anybody who is in the race to buy Manchester United has had to sign an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement. Ultimately, that means once they've signed this document, it means that they can't give out any information about the takeover. Otherwise, ultimately, they can be sued for millions and millions of pounds, right? Both of the people, Sir Jim and Qatar, have signed an NDA. So no information can come about the deal, right? And the fact that it's gone quiet, I just have this feeling. This is just my theory, guys, so don't take this for granted or whatever. But I feel like something must have happened. I feel like the deal is actually progressing. But why would we hear about it? Because they've signed an NDA. They've signed this non-disclosure agreement, and if they break that, they can be sued. So you're not going to hear Qatar have won, blah, blah, blah. It's a matter of days, because nobody has that information. The legal issues that would come out if somebody leaked that type of information would be absolutely crazy. A £6 billion sale, if somebody leaked that somebody has broken their NDA and told me this. So I know it's frustrating, but I actually think that the silence is almost positive, because exactly, somebody has just put this in the chat, which I was exactly about to go on to. So Craig, hats off to you, Craig. I was about to go on to this. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe has kind of broken his NDA because he has talked about it, hasn't he? Sheikh Jassim has said nothing. We've heard absolutely nothing from Sheikh Jassim directly. Not a single word. Whereas Sir Jim Ratcliffe only last week was coming out saying, I'm still in the race. I'm buying it for the right reasons. I've made some money and now I want to have a bit of fun. He was talking about it to me as if he was out of it. Because you wouldn't say that. If you were close to buying Manchester United and you'd signed an NDA, you would not, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't talk about it publicly. You wouldn't. So I do actually think it is maybe positive that we're not hearing anything. This is just my opinion, guys. I'm trying to stay positive. I just think that at the end of the day, guys, we're not going to hear about it until something's 100% done and confirmed. That's just how it works with these types of things. It's a £6 billion transaction. They've signed a legal binding document saying that if they leak any information, they can be sued for millions and millions of pounds. So I'm feeling okay about it. And I do just think that we'll get the news either way. I think soon it will either be they're staying or they're selling to Sheikh Jassim. I don't think we're going to have any more twists and turns saying they're going to do another round of bidding. They can't do that anymore. They can't. It has to be the final stage now. It has to be either the Glazers are staying or they're selling to Qatar. That's the black and white of it. So we just have to be patient. I know it's frustrating. I know everybody is sick to death of it. Honestly, guys, I'm absolutely sick to death of talking about it. We did a video yesterday morning and I didn't talk about it once. And honestly, it was the best video I've done since I've started the channel because it is so frustrating. And I do appreciate that people want to talk about it. And obviously, this is a community. And if people want to talk about something, I'm happy to talk about it. So yeah, but I am sick about it. I really, really am. Somebody talking about Onana. Let's move over to some positivity. So the story coming out yesterday was that Onana deal is now in the final stages. Apparently Inter Milan have told Onana that he will be moving to Manchester United. He's already supposedly looking for flats in Manchester, which I don't know if that's true. You always hear that, don't you? That he's house hunting in Manchester. I reckon that we'll get the here we go today or tomorrow. I'm very confident that this deal is going to happen. Obviously, again, that's just my opinion. But yeah, £43 million is what's being reported, plus £4 million on add-ons. So the deal will be worth £47 million in total, broken down into 43 up front and £4 million in add-ons. So it's a good bit of business. Really, really good player. Yeah, really, really good player. He's going to absolutely change the way we play football. So I'm absolutely buzzing about that one. Can't wait to see him in a Manchester United shirt. And I do hope that we have him in time for the pre-season tour, which I believe starts in about a week or 10 days' time. So yeah, Onana, it's a positive. I hope we get the here we go from Fabrizio today. Obviously, as soon as we get the here we go, we will, of course, go live. So do subscribe. Do hit the notification bell because I would like to share that moment with you. Those videos I really like because they're quite reactionary. It's like you're getting my live reaction on how I'm feeling about it in that moment, and we can all kind of discuss it, what we expect from them. You know, these videos are a little bit more formulated because I have a bit of time to think about how I'm feeling about certain situations. But when we get here we go, when we get a breaking news video, you are getting my live reaction. And I do think those videos are sometimes the best because you are literally seeing it completely raw, completely uncut. And I'm just saying exactly what I think in that moment. So yeah, do subscribe and hit the notification bell. We've got some breaking news coming out in the last few minutes, guys. It's about Harry Kane, and the story goes as follows. Matt Law, who writes for the Daily Telegraph in the UK, 600,000 followers on Twitter, says the following. Tottenham are prepared to offer Harry Kane £400,000 a week to convince him to stay at Tottenham. That's breaking news coming out in the last minute. Tottenham are willing to offer Harry Kane £400,000 a week to stay at Tottenham. That is absolutely ridiculous. 400 grand a week. I mean, I would steer clear of Harry Kane now, personally. I would not give Harry Kane £400,000 a week. That is crazy. But yeah, anybody just joining, we obviously did speak about Harry Kane at length earlier on in the show. Manchester United are still reportedly interested in him. And I even said that I wouldn't be surprised if we went to sign him at the end of the window. But story coming out from Matt Law this morning, 4 minutes ago, writes for the Daily Telegraph. He's got 600,000 followers. He is a credible journalist, and he is reporting that Tottenham are going to offer Harry Kane a 400 grand a week contract. I mean, that is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts, guys. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section and in the live chat. How would you feel about that? Would you give Harry Kane 400 grand a week? That's reportedly what Tottenham are about to pay him. Yeah, the Telegraph also reporting this same story. There's 2 or 3 journalists in the UK reporting that Harry Kane will earn up to 400 grand a week by staying at Tottenham. The new manager is going to convince him, starting with their first meeting tomorrow. So ultimately, they're going to offer him this new contract for £400,000 a week to try and get him to stay at the club. I mean, that is absolutely mental. There is no way that Bayern Munich will pay him that amount of money. That's crazy. But yeah, that literally came in whilst we're live. And again, I do like bringing you these bits of live news because you're getting my live reaction. I haven't had a chance to properly think about it. 400 grand a week, absolutely mental. Crazy. I mean, at the moment, guys, he's on 200. They're going to double his pay from 200 to 400. He's currently the highest earning player at Tottenham on 200, and they're willing to pay him 400. Let me just throw a spanner in the works, though. Everybody hold on a sec. Let me just throw a spanner in the works. Maybe this is a positive. All of those people who want Sancho out, all of those people who want Maguire out, we know that Tottenham are interested in both of those players, okay? If they give Harry Kane 400 grand a week, they've completely messed up their wage budget. Their current highest player is 200. The main issue with Sancho is the wages. If they give him 400, then why would they not give Sancho 350? I mean, it's possible, isn't it? So maybe that could work positively for those of you who do want Jadon Sancho out of the club. Welcome, Adrian. Hope you're doing well, mate. We've got about 5 minutes left of the video, guys. So do smash a like on the video and do subscribe. I've just put a link to subscribe in the live chat. Do hit the notification bell. We will be back live at 6 p.m. UK time. But obviously, if anything breaks between then and now, of course, we will go live. We are really, really hoping for the here we go on Onana today, and then we can move on to Rasmus Hojlund. There's somebody asking in the chat about what I mean about QATAR are here to stay. So we had a story come out yesterday, guys. I did already talk about it, but I'll repeat it really, really quickly. Those of you who are wondering about what the QATAR title is about, there was a story coming out from Simon Stone, who is a BBC sport journalist in the UK, saying that he had heard a rumour that QATAR were thinking of pulling out, but he has since confirmed that that is false and that they are ultimately, my words, here to stay. QATAR want to win this race. They're not going to pull out. That was my fear. That was a lot of people's fears. They thought, you know, could QATAR pull out? Are they going to stay in this race? Blah, blah, blah. But Simon Stone, very reliable journalist, writes for the BBC Sport, has come out and since verified, you know, directly with his own sources that, you know, QATAR are here to stay. They're not going to pull out. Any of those rumours saying they were are fake and are not true. So it is a positive, because I know a lot of people were thinking, you know, if I was Sheikh Jassim, I'd just tell them to do one at this point. I would honestly, if I was Sheikh Jassim, I'd just go and buy Tottenham now, or go and buy West Ham or someone like that for, you know, a quarter of the price and turn them into a superstar team, because the Glazers are completely messing him around. Let's be honest. They really, really are. Right, I'll read out a few more comments really, really quickly before we wrap up the video, guys. So do get your live chats in if you haven't already. Somebody says Harry Kane won't stay as he wants to win trophies. Somebody says, yeah, he's only going to pay that amount of money for Harry Kane. This is a great comment. James says 400 grand a week. Are Spurs taking professional advice from Ed Woodward? Yeah, maybe. Maybe Ed Woodward's secretly working at Tottenham now, handing out 400 grand a week contracts. Let's have a look. Right, guys, we're going to wrap the video up here. It's been an absolutely incredible stream as always. It always is with you guys. Please do smash the like button on your way out. It doesn't cost any money. And please do subscribe if you're new to the channel. We will be back live at 6 p.m. UK time. If anything breaks between then and now, of course, we will go live. So do make sure you've hit that notification bell. If we get the Onana, here we go, we'll go live. If we get any news about the takeover, we'll go live. You get the idea. I'm here for you guys. As soon as we get any news on anything, I usually go live within about 5 minutes. So yeah, I do hope to share those next moments with you on future streams. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Amazing stream this morning, guys. We had nearly 600 of you watching today. Incredible. Massive shouts to you all. Had an amazing stream. Great to speak, and I'll catch you guys later.